Good morning, everyone. My name is Stephanie. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Good, because they laid me a microphone out and I never need a microphone. So, if it makes you feel any better when you're mean to your kids and you make them give speeches in 4-H, this is why I have a big mouth. I say it's my mother's fault because she made me stand up and give speeches through 4-H. But I'm here today to talk to you about how to start hippology and horse judging. What can you put in your kids? And so when my child started in 4-H, I had another lady who was teaching the class, and I said, how can I help? What can I do? I do not have a formal background in horses. I grew up riding horses. I grew up in 4-H. I have been with multiple trainers over the years. I do not consider myself to be a professional. If you ask for tips and help, I'll help you all I can. If someone else tells you to do it differently, then please follow their instructions. I'm not perfect. But I loved helping the kids learn, and my kid was eager. Like, that was her thing. How much more can I read? How much more can I find out? And so I'm going to give you tips on how to do this easy, on the down low, and very cheaply. You can spend a fortune if you want. You can buy, I hope that every county has it, but the Ohio State Horse Kit, that's what I call it. I don't know, I guess it's the Educational Learning Kit is the official title of it. It's like $850. Am I correct? Is it still like $850? It's pricey. I think it's more. Oh, geez. It's on to $1,200. I'm sorry. A little panic attack. But most of your counties will help you purchase that. Now, I'm not saying that 100%, but like at our county, and I work in Hardin County in Extension now. I wasn't always. I was a leader for 10 years. I was a volunteer before that, blah, 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 blah. But our county purchased the kit for our kids to use. We have it for the livestock kits, we have the rabbit kits, we have the chicken kit, we have the horse kit, we have all of those. So go back to your county and ask them if they have it. And hopefully they do. The next easiest thing is the State Department has Horse Academy books. I don't know if you're familiar with these. She did print them for a while, and you could purchase a hard copy. I believe now there is a link online, or contact Dr. Camargo and you can just print it off. These are super easy. This is where to start your juniors. If you've got 8, 9, 10-year-olds, even if you've got 15-year-olds that have never done horses, start here first. Start here first. These are easy. As you know, I always have sticky notes in all my books. I'm sorry. But these start at level 1, and so they're a building block. They have a nice lesson, a little fancy introduction, gives a little background, tells you what books to pull. So some of those books are in your educational kit. Some of them are books that are listed on that resource guide on your first page, but also on the state website under State Horse Contest. You go to the rules book and you can scroll down through there and you can go to hippology and horse judging, and all of those resources are listed in there. I have listed more on that page for you because those are some of my personal favorites. I don't know if they'll ever pull questions from there, but some of them are just cool sites and easy ways to give the kids some info for them to go and learn from. But this is a really great book to start with, and it goes to level 5. I print off the AQHA horse judging manual, and I laminated it for the kids. I loan them a copy, and I make them bring it back to me. And that is because they're a little pricey to print if your office makes you pay for them. But also, if a kid ages out, then I don't want them to take the book with them. And there are some horse judging things in there. These are resources also from Ohio State. They have 4 or 5 levels in these. I did not list them, but my card is in your folder. Feel free to email me, contact me, ask me the things. If I don't answer in 5 days, do it again. It's not that I'm trying to ignore you, but in Extension, we're very busy. I'm in and out of schools. I teach our hippology team. I work with the livestock club. So I may have read your email or your text and then like, oh yeah, I'll get to that. Yeah, I didn't remember getting to it. So follow up with me. Don't feel like you're going to bother me if you reach out again. This is the horse anatomy. There's one, the listing in the state rules says the coloring book of horse anatomy. And so it's really snazzy. And I'm going to pass these around so that y'all can pass them down the aisle and everybody can see it.
If you need a
So
pencil,
I
I think
run
there's one in
copies
that bag.
and we do coloring sessions. I mean, kids love to color.
There's one in that bag.
To me, it's very decompressing.
It's the bag that you're going in.
You can relax a little bit. It's not as stressful.
It might be in the bag.
I don't teach hippology like it's a college class or a high school class. If you go to the state website and you look at all the books, I want to say there's like 13 of them listed. If you stack them up, they're over 3.5 feet tall. You are never going to teach your kids that. There isn't a way to teach your kids that. And the first thing I tell my kids and my parents is, first of all, just come and learn. Don't be intimidated by the amount of knowledge. Vets that go to school are not going to know what you know when you're done. I can't count how many times I've gone to, well, a Coggins clinic and pulled up with my horse, and the lady who is a vet, oh my God, I love your horse. She's a beautiful blue roan. I don't have a blue roan. I don't have a blue roan. And so I'm looking around the parking lot, and she's like, that one. No, ma'am. She's a registered Gruya, but that's okay. Can we list on her papers that she is a Gruya instead of a blue roan? So don't let your kids get intimidated by, oh, I don't know all this. You're never going to know this. Years ago, at the state event, they used to offer a parents test. Some of you might remember that. It's scary, don't take it. I'm just saying. I was like, oh, sure. So they did it as a fundraiser to be able to offset some of the cost of being at the hotel and stuff. So we paid $5, and you want to pass these. And you paid $5 to take the test, the same written exam that the kids take. I made a 54. It's a 100-point test in case you need it. And there's no curve. Now, that's a little shocking, and the kids said, oh my gosh, Miss Stephanie, we don't know anything. Well, we do know stuff. The thing is, the test is hard. The test is hard because, first of all, Fernanda nor Anna have time to figure out if 5 kids make a 99, who's the first place kid. So the test is super hard. So if you make a 50 on the test, yes, you are doing great. So don't get intimidated by that. Don't get upset. And I tell the kids, whatever you know is whatever you know. There's no way I can teach you everything. We typically practice 3 to 5 months out of the year, depending on how much I can do and how much the kids are willing to do. The first thing I want to tell you is don't overstress your kids, okay? They should come, it should be exciting, it should be fun. So last week's lesson, and y'all forgive me, because like I'm going to jump around. This is not I didn't bring a fancy PowerPoint. I'm not that fancy. It just isn't. So last week's lesson with my kids, just to give you a little bit of an idea of what I do. And again, I'm not a professional. This is just, so I just make it up as I go along, if that makes any sense. There's no right or wrong. So some of my kids are brand new. Even though they're 16, this is their first time they've been in a horse club. They've moved around the state. They don't know a ton of stuff. So we start with, this is called the main event page, and it is out of the green books that are floating around. And so this is basic horse colors. So we tackle basic horse colors and talk about, and then I follow it up with the genetics page that's also in your handout that talks about the 3 base colors. So yeah, the kids got to color, and we talked about markings, but I pulled in some genetics behind it. So it's not, oh my gosh, I have to learn genetics today. Because sometimes that's intimidating to kids. Next, we do a test. And if you will go on to those links that are on your first page, there's some blue links at the bottom. From North Carolina, Texas A&M, I forget who else is listed on it, Virginia maybe, and someone else. Tennessee. Thank you, Tennessee. You can go to those links, and they have all of their, not all of them, okay, so maybe the past 5 or 8 years of previous tests that they've used at their state contest, sometimes at their local contest, sometimes at the national level. Sometimes there are southern regional tests that we've used. So once we've used a test, we never use it again. Now I preface that with the way we build a test at that level is send me 25 questions, send me 25 questions, send me 25 questions, send me 25 questions, send me 25 questions. The committee is now going to look at these 25 questions and we're going to pick and choose. And we're going to build a 100-question test. So just, if you go to that test won't be the same, but some of those questions might still be in that test because someone else resubmitted the question. Maybe in a different way, maybe in a different format. So using those tests gives your kids time to put themselves like under pressure and be able to take a test. So we take some tests. I don't think I put this one in there. I'm going to pass it around. So we did a test. I typically have my kids for an hour and a half or 2 hours, depending on how my kids can handle it. And that has to be, you have to figure out what works for your kids. You know your kids better than I do, okay? And so within that, again, like I said, we colored. So we had a little fun. We watched a little bit of a couple of slides that I went to for code colors, so they could actually see what is a blue rung look like in person, as opposed to what someone might call a blue rung, because they could be wrong. I give them parts of the saddle, you know, parts of the English Western saddle. I usually give them a little bit of vocabulary, so start working on some vocabulary words. Last week we did teeth, and no, I did not go in depth. I gave them the handout. I sent them home with them. I said, practice this. That is out of the coloring book. I gave them parts of the horse we could go over in that hour and a half with a little bit of brief breaks in between. And next week I'll quiz them. I'll pick 20 questions out of that pack and we'll just quiz. It might be, how long is the small intestines in the digestive tract? How old is a horse with a full mouth? It's not super crazy. It's just enough to make them go home, work on it, because I can't teach them you can't teach them everything they need to know. So a lot of it is homework. Like, you've just got to send it home with them, and you have to trust that they're eager enough that they want to learn that they'll study at home. Okay? I have these little cheap magnetic dry erase boards. Hand them out to my kids. Sometimes through the middle of the quiz, we're like, tell me what TPR is. And the kids have to write down. What is TPR?
Temperature, pulse, respiration.
Very good.
Say that again, please. Temperature, pulse, and respiration.
So, easy stuff. Doesn't have to be super crazy at what you're building. In hippology, and on the sheet I put horse judging also. I don't know how familiar, has everyone in here ever had a hippology team before? Had kids who competed? Put your hand down, Jenna, you don't count. Okay, so most of you are new. Okay, so in hippology, there are 3 different sections. First is a written test. I believe juniors are 75 points. Don't hold me to that. Again, I said I don't have to have all the answers. I just have to be able to get you the answers. Seniors are a 100-point test. It's always a multiple choice. So I tell the kids, it's a multiple choice. If you don't know, guess. You have a 25% chance of getting it right. Don't leave a blank answer, ever.
They count right answers.
Only count right answers. So I got 54 right out of 100 when I took my test. Second is stations. And so out here in the hallway, I noticed they had bones set up today. And so stations is, you can walk up to something and it could be, I don't know how well y'all can see this, I'll pass this around. It could be this digestive tract, okay? This can be a station. And at the top of it, it's going to have the answers, so to speak. And everything here is going to be like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. And you have to match that A is 27 feet, B is 16 ounces, or whatever. Does that make sense? So it can be as simple as this. It can be as difficult as there truly legitimately are bones. They own a skull at the State Department. I still don't know all parts of the skull. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But it comes out sometimes and they use it and they will stick sticky notes on the different bones and then when the kid walks up. So with stations, you have exactly 2 minutes. There are 10 stations. And so typically they're on tables and they're in a circle around the room. Typically. At home, when I build a station, I either do it with a paper like that, even as simple as this, okay? So you don't have to overthink it, okay? So I've printed out 10 pictures of horses. I'll put 15 colors on the answer sheet, and the kids have to match it. 1 is going to be C, 2 is F, whatever. Super simple. I also love the trifold poster boards because then no one can see around you. So I like to cut those in half because nobody needs one this tall, right? Especially at your county. We don't care if somebody can see over it to see you. So I cut them in half and I will just, the cheat sheet I've learned over the years is put you a sheet protector on the board, slide your pages in it, so that when you want to change your station, you slide all your pages out. Next week, you put in worms. Slide your pages back in. The next week, slide those out and put in plants or trees, whatever. And so you can easily change those station boards. They'll do 10 stations with 2 minutes apiece, and they are timed. So when they walk in the room, they have to stand with their back to the board. And when Dr. Camargo or Miss Paula, whoever's working the room says begin, they can turn around and they instantly start writing. At the 2 minute time, it is stop, rotate. Put your back to the station. So when I start at home, I start my kids at like 3 minutes or 4 minutes. Work them down so that you're not pressuring them. And the goal when we first start is, do you know 5 answers? There's 10 on the board, do you know 5 of them? And sometimes they're never going to know. The year my kids walked in and they had farm implements, they all came out crying. There was tractors and things, and I didn't know any of them. Okay, so? But I didn't know them. Okay, so it's okay. It's okay not to know the answer. How many times I go places, I don't know the answer? It's fine. Yes, question.
Are they in groups or is it individual?
Yes, so when they go in the stations room, there's 10 at a time. When they are doing the test, the whole room, all of the seniors are together, all the juniors are together. And so then they'll pull them in clumps of 10 at a time to go do that.
So 1 kid at each station then?
Yes.
Okay. So is there any team with this or is it always just a single?
So if you have 3 minimum or 4 in your county, you can have a team out of that.
Okay.
They are always judged as an individual. So even if you have a team of 4, they are still eligible for all the individual awards.
Okay.
So you don't have to have a whole
But they
team.
don't help each other at the station,
No.
right? So 1 person at that station.
You're not speaking at all.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
horse bowl is team, hippology is individual.
No. Hippology is team also.
Okay.
You are each doing your own
And
test,
they
your
combine
own
the
stations,
scores.
and they combine those scores.
But horse bowl is a team.
You do not have to have a team. I have had kids go, just 1 or 2 want to go and do the hippology, and that's fine. You do not have to have a team in the hippology. To do horse bow, you have to have a team. There's no way to do an individual.
And then like, I have a kid that's very dyslexic, and so she's a slow reader. Is there people there that will help her figure out words if she can't figure them out because of, that high stress, or homeschooled, so we don't have an IEP yet?
Okay. I would love to say yes, but I don't have the answer to that one, and we haven't had one that I'm aware of previously compete. Now, I do have a kid that does livestock judging, and she has an IEP for reading and is very slow.
We are hoping to get an IEP this year for her, but we don't have that yet.
And
We
so-
don't have the resources through the schools to do
Okay, so we have had a volunteer from another county who doesn't know that kid be able to read for that kid.
Right.
But it's not, like, I can't read for her because she's in my county.
Right.
Mom can't read for her.
Correct.
So we have done things like that. In hippology and horse judging, or horse, it should mostly hippology would be the only time you really need someone to read. We haven't had that come up, but I mean, we accommodate all accommodations. So I would say we figure it out.
Okay.
So don't let that keep you from participating.
Stephanie,
Yes.
if we have very young girls, all 5 of them are here today, and they're gonna do horse bowl,
Okay.
is it probably, and they're young, we're talking early first year middle school people.
Right.
Is it too much to put on them to do hippology and horse bowl? Is that gonna make it a overwhelming day for them? Should we start with one thing, or?
It depends on how the schedule lays out. I don't know that it will be difficult at the state because they could, typically horse bowl is morning or afternoon and the other one's the other. So if that's still the schedule, I would say no.
Okay, so
You're
maybe-
practicing all this stuff for horse bow.
That's what I wondered, what the overlap
It's the same
was.
questions, it's the same content, you're just not having to verbally spit it out at somebody and push a buzzer.
So if we're driving here, we might as well do that.
You might as well.
So day one is
And the next day
judging,
you
right?
should do horse judging.
No, judging's day one.
I think judging is day one.
Usually it's day one.
But now, I haven't looked at her schedule yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's completely posted. We can ask that. But typically, I have told my kids, and the first year my kids started doing hippology and they got really strong, I took like, I had a great county at that point. So this was not me. I tell my kids all the time, none of these accomplishments that my county has done have anything to do with me. They are all my kids. It is all their accomplishments. I didn't do any of this. I just gave you the resources. You did it. You did all these great things. So that we were doing hippology, and they were like 10 or 12, and they're like, we want to go listen to horse bowl because we think we know it. Okay, great, that's fabulous. We went in, we listened to round one, they knew all the answers. We came out, they're like, oh my gosh, we knew it all, this is crazy, we want to do this. The next year they showed up, put buzzers in hands, and they all went,
Trying to recall.
push the button. No. And it's okay, we were dead last, but you know what? They tried it.
The head button phobia.
They had button phobia, and I even have a button system at the county, so we had practice. Oh, they can smack that buzzer all the time when it's just me. But you put other people in the room, and they panic, and that's okay. But if you can get them to do both, absolutely. It's the same knowledge, it's just in a different format.
And they may be on different days.
They might be.
If there's enough teams.
They split it up.
They split it, yes.
Here's my concern. I have kids at show, and so that are doing this. And so my concern is that it looks like the state horse show and the state contest are like butted right up against each other.
One's
So
going
I am
to be
very
close to that.
concerned.
This year
No,
they
no, no.
are. This year they are. It's the week before. They moved
Yeah,
the contest to the
There's
week
like
before
3 days in
state.
between, I think.
Did they move it?
Yes.
Okay, because I saw dates that looked like they were
It's
right on
like-
top of each other.
So
It's
we're
the
the
week before.
17th and 18th, right?
And they started.
And then the show doesn't start till the 28th is drill team, but then the show itself doesn't start till the 29th. So it's about 10 days apart.
Okay, so I have different dates then,
So
from earlier time, I guess.
I feel like it's doable. It really is. I feel like it is.
We don't want to burn out on our little bitty kids.
I don't know.
Your work.
Anna, was it doable? Anna is one of my former, took her all the way to nationals. And she showed and learned a new discipline because she grew up riding hunters. I'm just saying, that's fine, but whatever. We ride Western at my house. So we had to teach her a new discipline, and she did topology. Was it doable? Yeah. Everything you're gonna need. And it, like that pile that we did this week, I'll never go back. I might ask questions that were in it, but I'm never going back to that lesson. I don't have time. There are only 52 weeks in a year. There are 13 books, all these manuals, all those websites. I can't go back. And I don't say that to be mean, okay? That green bag over there is my daughter's hippology bag. One of the 3 hippology bags that she used, that we built over the course of her 10 years. This is another one. This is easy to do, legitimately. The kids, so I hand them a packet of information, okay? Run off copies, horse bowl questions, run it off, hand it to them, okay? Have them, these are baseball cards, thank you. I wanted to say playing cards, I'm like, that's not the right word. Them card thingies. And legitimately, this is just paper. It's paper. A lot of times I use index cards and have the kids write on index cards because it holds up a little better. Okay, question on one side, answer on the other. Every kid, not every kid, okay, most of your kids learn 3 different ways. Some of them have to hear it, some of them have to write it, some of them have to speak it. The best way to learn is if you'll do all 3. So if you read it, then you write it, and then you give it to someone else and ask them the question, you are 75% more likely to remember that question and answer. So I encourage all my kids, do index cards, I call these flashcards. I don't know that it's really any different, but you know, some kids gravitate to this better than they do this. You know, some kids, this is intimidating. This is an overwhelming task, so to speak. This sometimes is a little easier for them. When I am, and it's not fancy, so I'm going to pass it around, and I think there is another one in the green bag if you want to pass it too. When we practice some of our stations at the office, or I'm just practicing with the kids, I love these. Anybody teach school? Anybody remember these from school? They used to, nowadays they call them like bucket bags. Yeah. And the little first graders get a bag home in it. Do you ever, the little book home in it, and you read the book at night and you sign off that your kid read it and you send it back? Am I telling my age?
The library has them just on last week, you're not.
Okay, perfect. I was gonna say, somebody shake your head, you're making me feel bad.
Bucket bags?
Well, that's what we called them at school.
That was the program.
Yeah, that was the program. So they are just, I don't know how I looked them up on Amazon, to be honest with you. If you'll email me and remind me, I'll tell you.
We've got some at the Dollar Tree.
Sometimes they're at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
Target had them for a while. They were 10 in a pack. That was a deal. Only at back to school time. Then they didn't have them again. I'm going to pass these around too. So I will put an activity in the bag. Okay. This is the answer sheet. This is, this one in particular is mineral flashcards. So it's minerals, micro minerals, macro minerals, and their functions. I have run off all the cards. The kid's job is to lay out the mineral with the definition. And so I make them turn the answers over. Don't be cheating the first round. See what you know, give it a whirl and try. So I have minerals, I have reproductive tract of the stallion, skeletal joints. And so if I have the answer sheet, so I stole this out of a book. I don't know what book. It came as a it was like a magazine to me, like they mailed it to me. So I took this out, okay, then Xeroxed a copy, whited out all the answers. Now I can write A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever I need, and give the kids a sheet to write on. And so, or if you leave it in this sheet protector, they can write on it with a dry erase marker. So first, your job is see what you know. What do you know? Now flip it over, check yourself. And now you can write down the correct answer. So now go back and write all the right answers. Again, they've read it, they've seen it, they've wrote it. I have reproductive tract of the mare, I have leg anatomy, and a lot of these pages are straight out of our state educational kit that your county should have because all the counties had to have one of those. And I just Xeroxed the answer and the questions right out of those. Confirmation faults. This has got several in it. I don't know what all I've got. Sometimes I add 2 or 3 to a bag because there for a while I was out of bags. Behaviors. I have even so much as, anybody get horse and rider? No. Y'all need a subscription to Horse and Rider. So Horse and Rider every month has a judging page in it for horse judging. They'll show you 3 pictures of 3 horses, and they will ask you to rank them. And so I make my kids look at those 3 pictures. Tell me how you're going to place them. Tell me why. So like for juniors, they have to answer questions, and then seniors have to give reasons. So I start even with my juniors. Tell me why you didn't like that horse. I don't care if your answer is right or wrong at this point. I want you to be able to tell me why you picked it and why you didn't. because they need to learn to use the vocabulary, okay? Learn that anatomy. Then the answers are on the back page. So you flip it over, the answers are right there. I could have swore I had one with me. I was actually going to hold it up and show it to you. Who knows? I probably ate it. I apologize. I needed a snack on the way.
Stephanie, I have a question.
Yes.
So a lot of these are like we have big posters on them that are kits.
There is a book to those posters. There is an 8.5 by 11 spiral bound book
Okay.
to all those posters, and that's where that comes out.
Okay,
So find the book.
okay. The book doesn't come with the kit?
Yes, it does.
Okay,
Originally it did. Now who's got it or where they put it,
okay.
I don't know what to tell you.
I think I've seen something along those lines in there.
It's probably in the closet. So as I said, if you also get Horse and Rider or any of your Equus, they'll have magazine articles in it. This one was on fencing types, okay? I don't know a lot about fencing types. There's not a lot in our educational resource. So I pulled this article out, I pass it around to the kids and make them give me 5 topics at the end on why you would pick that fence and what type it is. This doesn't, I try to tell people, this is not rocket science or brain surgery, because if it was, I couldn't do it. There's no way. I'm not that smart. Mariola can attest to that. I'm not that smart. I like for the kids to learn, and I like to make it fun, okay?
You coached podcast.
I know I did, but I don't take credit for it. I have lots of weird, unusual stress toys, okay? Sometimes we sit in a circle, okay?
She's moving around too much.
We do once a week. We don't meet in the summer. Typically we stop May-ish, and then we don't start again until fall. This year we've been a little behind the curve, but I have lost an agent. We've gained, it's a hot mess at my county, so it's been a little stressful here lately. But I use my stress balls, and it's just as simple as name a breed.
Appaloosa.
Yeah.
I was too busy taking notes.
Name a tack.
Saddle.
It's that simple, because you're getting the kids a little active. It doesn't have to be, oh my gosh, we gotta write notes and take notes and do this and do that. We have to constantly, it doesn't have to be textbook. So do whatever you want. We have gone outside and marched around the parking lot and named vitamins till they could tell me the vitamins. What's fat soluble? What's water soluble? What's the properties of this one? What is this? If the weather's good, we go outside. No kid likes to sit inside all the time. And that's very stressful in my opinion. So we like to be a little active if we can. I try to take visits to farms if it's all possible, because in the judging, you're going to see lots of different breeds and lots of different qualities, I guess is my best. You know, there's a few at my house that I wouldn't take out in public. A few of them horses is ugly. But you're liable to see that anywhere, because you can't predict what's going to show up. So don't be afraid to take your kid to different farms and look at different breeds, different disciplines. Gene Ray Stewart is up towards Frankfurt. He is a carded judge in reining horse, ranch horse, AQHA, NSBA. He is phenomenal. He went to Blackhawk College, which is a college well known for their horse judging team. Like, they build judges. That is their claim to fame. But if you call him and say, hey, I have a team I'd like to bring up, I want you to talk to him a little bit about horse judging, maybe help him give reasons, I don't think he'll tell you no. I have never called him that he ever told me no. Now, his schedule might be crazy. It might be difficult for you to find a day. But, I mean, if you know a professional in the industry, call them, ask them, hey, are you willing to talk to my kids about this? Can we come to your house and take a field trip? I don't ride hunters. I don't have English. I know zilch about that. So I was always looking for videos, trying to get the kids to a place that maybe had that or had this. So don't stress yourself about it. This is a page kids will be given, now mine's a little generic, the state makes it just a smidgen fancier because they have their name and their county and some other stuff at the top. But this is what a station page looks like. So when they hand this page to the kids,
Just want everyone to have.
yep, just give everybody one. Then they will write at the top of the list what station you start at. And sometimes she'll have the names already on it. So if your kid walks in and they are at station 5, which is plants, don't start at 1. Find plants. You need to be on the right station. We find it's a little easier to do that. Used to be in the beginning, we just let them start with 1. That was confusing because then you had to find what section they were under and make sure you had the right answers for that category. So most of the time now they have whatever title you want on it. So make as many copies as you want. I don't own the rights to that. It's Microsoft. I just copy and paste. I'm really good at that answer. But that gives you a sheet to start with, so you don't have to recreate your own. Less stress. And then you can put whatever categories. When you first start with stations, just start with 3 or 4. The kids need to know that they're going to take a test. They're going to have to walk in stations. There is a slide portion. And so it's pictures. They'll pop it up on a screen. Also, it's multiple choice. So it may be an oxer jump. And the answers at the bottom are, I don't know, steeplechase, fox hunting, ox or chicken coop. They just have to name the jump. Okay? And then they're going to judge horses. Typically at Hippology, it's on videos. Oh, I hate videos. I hate videos.
The kids do too.
Yeah, you can't see. You should see me watch a video sometimes at the office and I'm like,
So there's,
Like it's gonna change your preference.
like it's going to change what I see. You know, if I move around, can I see something different? No, they're not. 5 minutes. Okay.
Actually, more like 3 because they need to complete an exam.
Okay, yes, ma'am. So if your office can pay for it, or if your county can pay for it, livestockjudging.com. You can do the free one, but you only get like 5 or 10 options of classes. But if you pay for it, it's like $300 for the year. But if your county has a livestock team and a horse team, then all of it's on there. They have meats, they have chickens, they have sheep, goats, cows, horses. They have riding classes, they have halter classes. You can log in, the kids can all do a login, and you can send them classes to judge, and then it sends you the results on how they place the class, and then you have a chance to look at it and be like, okay, let's talk about this class. We all bombed Western riding. Why did we bomb Western riding? And that's not a horrible thing. There's your learning curve. You can order CDs, National Horse Judging. I don't know what it is. This is national. If you go to Congress, when we take the teams to nationals, that is the video they'll sell every year. It's like $30. So if you have a DVD player, so take a picture of it. I can send you a contact for it if you want to order that.
They sell it at Congress.
Yes, but only on the day that the youth do judging. Sorry. I know, it's a little bit
you
complicated.
get up there.
Okay.
So, for the Hippology judging portion, it will be on video.
It's typically on video because we don't have a way to transport the kids from one location to the other and back and forth. Usually horse judging is on one day for just horse judging, and then the Hippology portion of horse judging is on slides on that day. Amazon has these fabulous 4D horses for $29.95. They are great. They come apart. All the guts come out. All the stuff comes apart. I'll pass them around. Also,
The third thing on the 3 parts of the thing is written test stations, and what was the third thing?
judging.
The judging.
Slides is part of the written test. Am I correct? Yes. Slides and the written test are combined into one score, and then it's stations and judging.
So, we're told that the horse bowl, if you're a junior level,
comes from the first 2 Course Academy books.
Yes.
Is Hippology the same, or is it?
I think it's the first 3 books, but go in and look. It's on the state rules. That's why I said, I listed all the resources, but I didn't put them in the order that was just juniors and just seniors.
Okay.
We have a quiz or a little survey she's gonna pass out. While she's passing that out, if your kids like Jeopardy, you can build this out of a shower curtain with duct tape.
We gotta do something.
I know, it's falling apart. So sorry. We're a little rough with it. We take it to horse camping everywhere. But you'll just, packing tape, your labels on there, use sheet protectors so you can slide your questions in and out, and you can change them as you want. Easy peasy. $2 shower curtain at the dollar store. Don't buy the expensive one.
And that is
Yes.
13 years old.
If you have a
What?
team
Yes.
and want to see what your knowledge base is right now, so let's say you're just getting started and you want to see what your knowledge base is. On August 24th is 4-H, FFA, Ag Day, Field Day, whatever they call it these days. At UK, there is a horse industry knowledge competition. Individuals and teams of 4, 3, 4, something like that. I can't remember.
I think you can do a team of 3, but a team of 4, if they have a,
It's better.
they take all 4 scores. So if you have a team of 3, you have to be competitive enough.
So it's set up in a similar way as Hippology,
Yes.
except everything is virtual. So there's slides, there's questions,
Yes.
there's slides, and there's judging. And those are the 3 sections.
Do
You
it
don't
with
have
this
stations
tripod
at
thing.
that one.
And it's free to go. I think you have to, the kids pay $5 for their lunch or something. You can sign up your 4-H team. It's called the UK 4-H FFA Field Day.
Okay.
Well, UK has one and Western has one. So they're 2 different days. So depending on who you're closer to,
Yeah.
might be, and they use that competition for the kids graduating to be able to put on an event and understand how to build it. So it's very low key, it's very easy. Low stress. Gives the kids something to start with. Any other questions? Sorry, you have a survey. So, what is it, a test? Oh my gosh!
And it's not multiple choice.
Oh, darn it!
Yeah.
And you didn't, you just
I heard spelling doesn't count.
always that first weekend-ish of August. They typically compete on a Thursday, so if that helps, it's middle of the week. It's the beginning of the Southern Regionals Horse Championship Contest. So it's a horse show, it's judging, it's hippology, it's speeches, it's demonstrations. Your kids can do any of that. If your team, from there, they are competing against the 13 lower states. So from Texas to Kentucky, over to Virginia, down to Florida. So it's those 13 lower states are who goes and competes. Kentucky takes 2 teams. So this is why I say, if you have an individual kid, they are still eligible to move on because Kentucky takes the team who wins that category. So let's say my kids win hippology. Okay, Hardin County's kids win hippology. Then they offer a team B to the next 4 highest placing individuals that were not on the team. Does that make sense? So we take an A team and we take a B team. Then when we get to Southern Regionals, the first year we went, my kids were really jacked up. Oh my gosh, you gotta beat 13 teams. No, you don't. You have to beat the other team from Kentucky. That's all you gotta beat. So psych them out. Psych them out. Look at them. Stare at them if you have to. Which team wins at Southern Regionals then advances to Eastern Nationals, which is held in Louisville during the North American. So if you say my kids can't go to Eastern Nationals, shame on you. It's in our back door. We should be there. 5 seconds. Okay. So But once you go to that Eastern Nationals competition, you can't ever go back in hippology. You can go to Southern Regionals and choose not to move on. But if you go to Southern Regionals and you choose not to move on, be sure you're not disqualifying your team. Because the last thing you want is to go back to your county and your other 3 members are mad because you said, I'm not going on, and now you just killed their dreams. So I prep my kids for that. If we win, we're going. That's the rule. You have to go. You might not ever win again. You don't know. So once you win Southern Regionals, you then are also invited to go to Congress, which is held in Ohio, and it's just an extra competition.
At the Quarter Horse Congress?
At the Quarter Horse Congress, yes. So it's a pretty cool thing to go and see. If you've never gone to the Quarter Horse Congress, even if you're not a quarter horse person, you should go and drool at the $100,000 horses and all the flashy attire. Because them hunter people don't wear pretty stuff. I don't know what's up with them. It's all plain.
Now, they're using sparkles and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, I may have to move over.
Don't forget to go down Gilligan Barn and see all the stall fronts.
Yes, yes. Go down Gilligan Barn, look at all the star fronts, because it looks like town. All the famous trainers bring in stall fronts and couches and TVs and it's a thing to see.
Set up for World, just FYI, these trainers don't even set up like this for World Show.
No, they
Shut up.
don't. Only at Congress do they set up like
Because
this.
they're there for a month and a half.
It is the largest breed show in the world. It is 4 weeks long. Runs the whole month of October.
It's now starts in September and ends in October.
Yeah. So that's all I have. I hope this helps. I hope you're not afraid to tackle it. Feel free to ask me any questions. Again, you don't have to have the answers. You have to be able to get them the answers. That's it.